What's going on, motivators? We got another video. We got to talk about Jasmine Crockett leaving Congress. She used to call out everybody, and now she's about to resign the same way because nobody voted for her in the last election in Texas. Let's get into this.
And this week, she announced that she's going to resign from Congress on January 5th.
I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future.
Here to discuss is one of Green's biggest adversaries in Congress, Democratic Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us. I want to start with the shocking announcement from Congresswoman Green. What went through your mind when you first heard she was going to resign on January 5th?
You know what? Honestly, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You're on the other side of the president for 1 week and you can't take the heat. Imagine what it is to sit in my shoes, to not only be on the opposite side of him, but to have people like her who are constantly fanning the flames of hate. And
she's flaming the flames too. We all know Jasmine Crockett, pretending that she is in the streets when she was not born really in the streets. She was spoon-fed and everything. So we'll see.
And imagine what those threats look like when you literally are someone like me. But at the end of the day, I know that I serve the people of Texas 30.
Here we go. The people like me. It always goes back into race, but she will no longer be in Congress. Yep.
Seeing people, whether it was an American citizen or not, that killed your child or harmed your child, I believe it's wrong. To me, it wouldn't have made it any less painful. And I could be wrong again because I don't have any kids. But if for some reason it had been a U.S. citizen that ended up harming or killing your child, the pain would still be there. It would still hurt. So the reality is that what we need.
Yeah, but the thing is that we're putting a double piece on it. You know that someone could hurt your kid who's in the community already, but you can have an assessment on that. But then you have somebody who's outside the community coming in. You don't know what's going on. The actual stake actually goes higher because that person could do something to your kid. There's no difference as far as somebody coming into the United States and they shouldn't have been there. And it happened. Somebody who was driving when they should have been locked up and then they kill your kid, although it could have been somebody else who was driving and they were drunk. That person who should have been locked up should have never been on the street to begin with. So yes, things do happen, cause and effects. But the idea people are making a big deal about is they shouldn't have been there in the first place. Why are they there?
Need to do is make sure we are protecting everybody in this country. Sanctuary policies, stories from victims and families. My deal is we aren't the ones that decide what cities do.
At the end of the day, that is why the cities are there, and the people who are placed in power is for the citizens. Do you imagine we as the constituents, we are voting for someone else from a different country, say Europe, right? We are voting for Europe to have more power than the people in your United States. Does that make any sense? So when you govern the state, you should be governing the state for the people of the state, i.e., whichever state that you're in or the United States. You cannot govern for people outside. So if someone comes in unannounced, i.e., illegal, who should you take first? Your constituents is who you should protect first, because that person who is there, he or she is illegal, right? They shouldn't have been there in the first place. And this is why she's leaving.
But I'm a whole lawyer. So I will potentially go back to practicing law. I'm engaged in conversations with some law firms about what that would look like. I want to be semi-flexible.
No one thinks it's funny that now she wants to go back into a law firm. She's speaking proper again. Proper. We all remember this.
Because these people, they are crazy. Because they always talk about how Christian they is. Yeah, I don't know how many of them on that side are getting divorced because they getting caught up sleeping with their co-workers, staffers. interns, all the things. Yeah, you ain't got to believe me. Just go Google. You'll find some of it. I'm telling you. And the wives is being messy and petty. They putting it in the divorce. I'm like, ooh, that's got to be true because your lawyer would know that they going to lose it. I'm moving.
Look at, calm down. Calm down.
No, because this is what y'all do. So I'm trying to get
Miss Crockett, you're not recognized. Miss Crockett.
I can't hear you with your yelling.
Don't want
calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can you please calm down?
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk noise
down.
and then
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I come and talk about her, y'all gonna have a problem.
Mr. Chairman.
All right, Chair, okay.
You're
Order.
This is not okay, I'm so upset. I cannot believe this is happening to our country. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, Governor Abbott. All y'all. Shame. Shame. Shame on you guys. This is ridiculous. You're going to do whatever you can to suppress our votes. You already gerrymandered everything. And you just got to make it worse. You just got to make it harder. That's okay. I still...
My thing is, what is wrong with those people? Like, I mean, tearing up, like, are those people doing research? As a black person, I'm looking at that and I'm like, what are you doing? Go do some research. Do some research. Jasmine Crockett was not a good candidate. Even her party didn't even back her. She wasn't a good candidate. And she knew she was going to lose and she tried something in the Senate and she's trying to go fancy. Now she's trying to get into a law firm. And you got people wailing. Oh my God, oh my God. Like, what is wrong with those people? Why? It's always the left who acts this way.
Oh God, I gotta wipe my face in a minute. But I'm gonna let myself feel it. I'm giving myself grace. I'm learning grace. Because as a black woman, we don't get that.
Oh.
But it's extremely hard to continue to feel like this. Michelle Obama said something, and she said, I would never run because y'all are not going to be ready for a black woman.
And here's the problem with that. A black man won Obama because at first we would never elect a black president. Obama gets it, and now we're never going to elect a black woman. And if a black woman does become president, or when it does happen, it will be like a trans person. And then it's going to move on into something else, a black mix. It will never be enough for those people. This whole identity politics, it's driving them nuts. And they should know it by now, but it's not going to stop. They're always going to continue.
Be able to get away with this. But he's been able to get away with this because the House Republicans are complicit. He's been able to get away.
You went with the candidate with the right complexion and the less qualifications. Well, you said that maybe only a white person can win Texas. Well, now you have the opportunity to test your theory. And rather than playing in black folks' faces with disgusting comments like this, why aren't you taking all this energy to prop up your candidate like we wanted you to do?
At the end of the day, too, is Jasmine Crockett, like I kept saying, she wasn't good. She doesn't belong in Congress. Most people are panderers in Congress, too. She was one of them. She tried to put herself in an electable position and try to be ghetto. It didn't work out. You still have some people who are crying about it. By the end of the day, you have to be able to mesh with a constituent. It cannot just be black people only. You are into the place for everybody who lives in your county, your district. It cannot just be white. It cannot just be Mexicans. It cannot just be whatever it may be as far as race and ethnicity. It has to be for the people, your constituents.
No one. I gotta get through this. Don't want
calm
me to
down.
And then you're
out of control.
Shit about her.
Just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal.
I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like buck. Busted on a beat, bro, deep boat, any rap, he a freak, though, man down, call an ambulance, tell him, bro.
Man, look like she's dancing away out of Congress. I mean, she had this coming, plain and simple. She had this coming. And again, a lot of people that live in Congress, I don't believe Congress should be there anyway for people to just stay in until they die, right? Most of them trying to make a career out of it. Congress should be, you come in, you serve your people, and you get another job outside of it. Go be a lawyer. I hope she's going to be successful in being a lawyer and starting a new firm or whatever she is doing. But she does not belong in Congress. And most of them don't belong in Congress anymore. Anyway, let me know what you think inside the comments. All right, motivators, if you enjoy what you've seen and heard, please like, comment, share, but most importantly, subscribe to A Black Veteran's Perspective. Stay motivated.